Today, I want to draw attention to a sobering reality. By the time I am done with this talk, another life will be lost in the fight against suicide. It is a race against time. In the last 22 years, over 30,000 service members and post 9/11 veterans ended their life by suicide. This is 4 times the number of deaths in combat. Suicide is an alarming epidemic, and leaders at all levels must find proactive ways to mitigate risk. I have witnessed leaders who excel in this pursuit and others who struggle. Certainly, to get left of the boom, we require leaders to understand their roles and remain committed to fostering a culture of dignity and respect within our military communities. Suicide is a complex phenomenon influenced by a variety of factors, including biology, psychology, and the environment. Understanding suicide means recognizing it's not a simple decision, but the result of various elements coming together. It is crucial to approach suicide with empathy and encourage those needing professional help. Research using brain imaging tests has given us a glimpse into the neural aspect of suicidal behavior. Suicide is associated with changes in the brain, including in the areas responsible for impulse control, decision making, and emotion regulation. The prefrontal cortex, responsible for decision making, shows abnormalities, along with the amygdala, linked to emotions, and the hippocampus, involved in memory and stress. Individuals with depression may have decreased activity in the prefrontal cortex. This may contribute to their symptoms of loss of pleasure, motivation, and concentration. Mental illness, including depression, anxiety, history of childhood trauma, and substance abuse, can also increase a person's risk of suicide. These factors can create stress and isolation. Social factors such as financial problems, relationship issues, and lack of social support can also contribute to suicide. These factors often overlap and exacerbate one another, making it more difficult to cope with challenges and find help when needed. One of the reasons soldiers hesitate to seek help is the fear that getting help could negatively impact their careers. This often discourages service members and veterans from reaching out for support. It is common for senior enlisted and officers to finally seek behavioral health support only in the month leading up to their departure from the service. This stigma, along with the associated barriers, can hinder timely interventions and much needed support. I want to share with you why I am so passionate about this. I want to share the story of Jones. Last year, his wife found him dead in the basement after he took his own life. John served in the U.S. Army for over 20 years as a combat medic with multiple combat deployments. The first time I met him, he wanted to stop taking his medications because he didn't want to rely on them. He tried on his own to stop the medications, but his symptoms worsened. Jones was embarrassed and ashamed of seeking help. Under the influence of alcohol, he became a stranger to himself and those who knew him. One time he sent me a message and told me to stop wasting my time caring for him as a behavioral health provider because he was a lost cause. I contacted his leadership and they went to his home and encouraged him to get help. After that, he completed a 60-day dual treatment program for post-traumatic stress disorder and alcohol abuse. He returned home and he was doing well for several months. He was already in the process of transitioning from the military. However, he relapsed again. He realized that he had done all of that treatment, but his struggle continued. The fear of disappointing his family one more time became unbearable. He felt hopeless and didn't want to be a burden to his family any longer. He texted his wife and told her that she would be better off without him. Later that day, she found him in the basement, hanging from the ceiling. This was a very painful experience, but it's not the end of the story. This was the first time in my professional career that I had the opportunity to see what happened to the families left behind. I saw how the community and John's leadership came together to support his family. His wife was devastated, but with time and support from the community, she found the strength and the hope to move forward for her girls. Recently, she sent me a message and told me that she and the girls are remembering the best memories of John's. That the first year without him has been very hard and painful, but God has been faithful, and she's grateful for the support that she received from the community. I am glad for the opportunity to see the other side of the story. Leaders at every level play a key role in saving life. Leadership engagement, which shows soldiers that you genuinely care, makes a significant difference. Empathy and creating a sense of belonging within your team are critical qualities of effective military leaders. So now I want you to picture two units side by side, facing identical challenges. In one, soldiers stand tall and their spirits are high. In the other, their heads hang low and a cloud of anxiety seems to linger over the group. What could possibly explain this stark difference? The answer lies in the undeniable impact of leadership. A Walter Reed Army Institute of Research study paints a clear picture. Leadership is not a simple job title. It is a potent force shaping mental resilience and behavioral health. Their findings reveal a staggering difference in the psychological well-being of soldiers based on their perception of leadership. So when soldiers view their officers and non-commissioned officers as effective, the rate of those meeting the criteria for any psychological problems dropped to a remarkable 5.8%. This indicates a unit filled with mental fortitude and readiness. However, the flip side is disturbing. When soldiers feel their leaders are ineffective, the proportion of those exhibiting psychological problems rise to a concerning 22.6%. This translates into 4-time increase in risk. This is an alarming evidence of the detrimental impact of counterproductive leadership. And this is not just a theory, it is a harsh reality countless individuals face. As leaders, what we say and do carries significant weight. So we have the power to lift our team spirit and instill hope, or decrease morale and instill despair. According to the Defense Organizational Climate Survey, DOCS data, supportive and transformational leadership were noted to be the top protective factors against suicide. Now I want you to think back to your careers. Recall those transformational leaders who stood out from the rest. They went beyond their job description and invested time in your growth and asked those extra questions, not just about your tasks, but about your well-being. These leaders didn't just manage, they inspired and uplifted. The reason these leaders are unforgettable is that they left a profound impact on our professional journeys. Their mentorship, guidance, and genuine concern for our success became part of our stories, shaping our path in meaningful ways. They symbolize what effective leadership is all about, making a positive and lasting mark in the life they touch. Now, here is the truth. It takes a village to save lives. We must stay vigilant in our military communities, workplaces, and everyday life. Each of us can be that leader who invests in others. By doing so, we contribute to a culture of care and support, we can make a world of difference. Now, imagine a soldier facing legal challenges, financial issues, and the intense stress of military life. Feeling isolated and hopeless, they see no way out. This is the tragic reality for too many of our brave men and women in uniform. The Department of Defense recognized this crisis and launched a new policy, integrated primary prevention. This policy empowers commanders to monitor the units, model healthy behavior, and foster an environment where help seeking is encouraged. Last year, Secretary Austin adopted a series of key recommendations from the Suicide Prevention and Response Independent Review Committee to address this epidemic within the military. First, fostering a supportive environment, prioritizing people, and empowering leaders to improve schedule predictability, improving the delivery of mental health care, addressing the stigma and other barriers of care. For example, increasing mental health services in primary care setting, revising suicide prevention training, modernizing both the context and the delivery, and finally, promoting a culture of lethal means safety. We must create a culture of support where everyone feels valued, connected, and able to seek help without fear. And this isn't just a policy issue. It is a matter of life and death. It's about ensuring that every soldier who puts on the uniform comes home physically, mentally, and emotionally strong. Transforming suicide prevention in the military requires a comprehensive approach that goes beyond traditional yearly death by PowerPoint presentations. So shifting suicide prevention efforts towards primary prevention involve targeting the population before they exhibit signs of distress. By promoting practical and interactive suicide prevention training, we empower our leaders and soldiers to become guardians of their community, fostering a culture of resilience. Here are several tools that leaders can utilize for proactive suicide prevention. The U.S. Army Directorate of Prevention, Resilience, and Readiness website provides valuable tools for leaders to help mitigate risk in soldiers. For example, the Leader's Suicide Ideation Drill Card offers practical tools on what to do to prevent and prepare for a soldier in crisis. First, know your team baseline so you can identify any changes from that. Know the risk factors and red flags, such as changes in performance, relationship issues, and withdrawing from their team. Also, normalizing help-seeking behaviors. So, openly discuss mental health resources. The website also provides information on the Integrated Prevention Advisory Group. This is the Army's new primary prevention workforce, which is expected to be fully operational by 2027, with over 1,200 positions being created across all Army components. The Department of the Air Force has also developed a comprehensive, integrated resiliency strategy that is designed to enhance the physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual well-being of airmen and their families. This initiative is integrating resiliency training into all levels of professional development. So now airmen at all ranks are required to participate in resiliency training, which cover a wide range of topics, including stress management, coping with adversity, and building healthy relationships. The DAF has also developed several online and self-paced resiliency tools that are available to airmen and their families. Two initiatives that are transforming the way we approach suicide prevention in the military are the Holistic Ambassador Leadership Training and the Second Chance Play. The HALT is a multi-day program designed to empower soldiers with the knowledge and the skills to become proactive leaders in their military communities. HALT promotes physical, mental, social, and spiritual readiness by providing participants with various topics and small group discussion. The program offers a dialogue-based format, allowing participants to raise personal concerns and receive real-time expert guidance in topics such as building healthy relationships, managing your finance, and coping with adversity. The focus is on junior soldiers and a mixture of non-commissioned officers and officers, so they can bring their perspective during the group discussion. After completing the training, soldiers return to their units with additional skills and resources to strengthen peer leadership at all levels. Another approach for suicide prevention is the play Second Chance. Second Chance is a theatrical suicide prevention training that helps the audience experience how life events can spiral out of control and lead to suicide. The dynamic cast is led by active duty soldiers and airmen. The main character, Specialist Jones, struggles with alcohol abuse, marital problems, and legal issues. The production ultimately leads to the soldier receiving a second chance that completely changes his perspective and ultimately saves his life. Here is a short video highlighting the program.
My name is Staff Sergeant Janico Skategi, and I was the spouse of Jason Jones. As I went through the play and being the spouse, actually feeling that same anxiety but not being able to help, it causes a lot of stress. It's all about being the change. Don't be afraid to help somebody.
These initiatives empower our military personnel with effective tools to strengthen their leadership, identify warning signs, and prevent adverse outcomes. Additionally, they foster talent development and promote retention within our ranks. Clearly, in the face of today's present challenges, we cannot afford complacency. We must act with urgency and determination to transform suicide prevention in the military. Each of us has a role to play in creating a culture of resilience and support. We must be willing to step up and connect with our teammates on a deeper level. As leaders, we are responsible for setting the tone and fostering an environment of dignity and respect. By making prevention proactive and engaging, we empower our military to become active participants in their well-being and the well-being of their brothers and sisters in arms. The time for change is now. Let's work together to create a military where suicide, domestic violence, and sexual assault are not just unthinkable, but impossible. Thank you.